Humans have a tendency to seek improvement. We all want to achieve goals that we set our mind to, whether that be studying for an exam, building a house, or baking a cake. Unfortunately, however, we also sometimes have a tendency to feel less than motivated to start working towards those goals, which could lead us to procrastinating, scrolling the internet, playing games, or even doing chores. Practically anything other than what we're meant to be doing. Fortunately for us, there's a well-proven method that helps even the most hardcore procrastinators among us focus and work towards their goals. It's called the SMART method. The first important step is to be specific and clearly define exactly what it is that you're trying to achieve. Start where you want to land and work your way back. This is because, unless you actually know what you're aiming at, it's going to be almost impossible for you to achieve it. Therefore, the less vague that your goal is, the better. If you're struggling to identify something specific, think about how much time and effort you're willing to devote to the task or project at hand. Everybody wants to do the best that they can, but it's also sometimes better to have a plan that's okay versus a plan that's perfect. Otherwise, you risk never starting at all, which is itself a common type of procrastinating. Also, you may find it helpful to write down a short description of what you're working on to help clarify your thoughts and identify that all-important goal. Depending on the complexity of the task at hand, this may take some time, but it's important to get this first stage right in order to prevent yourself from losing focus. Second, think about the manner in which you can measure your progress towards the goal that you've set. Avoid things that are vague, such as "I'll try my best." It's important to know that clarity is everything when it comes to setting goals, as it allows us to evaluate our ongoing progress. Instead, focus on creating mini goals that are measurable and clearly identifiable, which will help you monitor your progress towards the overall goal. For example, if you're studying for an exam, one of your mini goals could be, "I will spend 2 hours a day studying science," or whatever you're studying. Or, if you want to be even more specific, "I will practice 50 example questions per day up until my exam." By keeping track of your progress, you can also keep track of how much work you should be doing each day, which will help you prevent from going off track and starting procrastination. Third, it's important to make sure that your goals are also achievable. It's great to be ambitious, but we also have to make sure that we have a good chance of success. When considering this, similar to the first step, it's a good idea to think about how much time and effort you're willing and able to devote to the task at hand, as this will help guide you towards a goal that is achievable. Think about the mini goals you identified in step 2 to measure your progress. Are these achievable given the time and resources you have available? If not, feel free to adjust them. It's important you be kind to yourself and not expect more than is achievable. Otherwise, it's possible that you may succumb to burnout and start procrastinating. This brings us to the fourth point, which is to ensure that your goal is relevant or realistic. It's important to remember that everyone is different. What might be a relevant goal for someone else might not be so for you, and vice versa. This step requires that you think about the bigger picture. How does it fit into the wider plan that I'm trying to execute? How is this goal that I'm trying to achieve contributing to things generally? It's also worth keeping in mind that the relevance of something might change over time. What might have been relevant at one time may no longer be relevant after a certain amount of time or after an event has passed. Last but not least, make sure that your goal is time-bound or time-limited. This step involves setting a deadline for when you want your goal to be completed. It's important to do this in conjunction with each of the other previous steps, and particularly whether it's achievable. Although it's also true that you don't want to give yourself too long to achieve it, as this could also lead to procrastination. If you're not sure how much time to give yourself to achieve your goal, try and connect with others who are currently aiming at a similar goal, or people who have done so in the past, to find out what they did. This could include friends and classmates who are taking the same class as you, or a colleague or family member who may have encountered similar tasks. They will more than likely be able to provide you with valuable advice to help in relation to your problem. Also, if you ever find yourself feeling stuck and demotivated, it's important to refuel your motivation by reminding yourself why you initially wanted to achieve your goal. We can often become so bogged down in how difficult a task is that we lose sight of what inspired us in the first place. When this happens, take some time to consider your values, in particular, how you felt when you first decided to pursue your goal. It's possible that you may need to rethink certain aspects of it, such as how achievable or measurable it is. Remember also that goals should be fluid and subject to change, not something that is permanent and final. I hope these steps can help you navigate the common issues of procrastination when you're trying to get something done, and the stress that comes with that. If you want more psychology videos like this, remember to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out. Thank you for watching!